Ever wondered why the squirrels in your backyard seem to have their own secret society? Well, here's a theory for you. These fluffy-tailed creatures are, in fact, super intelligent beings from outer space, plotting our world's slow and adorable takeover. Sounds nuts, doesn't it? Welcome to Conspiracy Theory Debunked. No tin hat required. Picture this. It's a sunny afternoon and you're out in the garden, sipping your tea, and there they are, busily scampering about, burying nuts. But what if those nuts aren't just winter reserves? What if they're intergalactic communication devices, being planted all over the planet, ready to send our secrets to their mothership? Hold on a moment, folks. We've just entered our interesting speculation zone. If you're enjoying this nutty theory, why not show some love and give this video a thumbs up? Every like makes me feel better for having chased those squirrels out of the garden. Now, where were we? Ah yes, the squirrels and their fondness for bird feeders. We've all seen squirrels cunningly pilfering from those supposed bird-only diners, but have we ever stopped to think why? Perhaps it's not about the seeds at all. Maybe they're merely practicing their world domination skills, honing their craft of infiltration and theft. And then there's the eavesdropping. Yep, you heard right. Those cute, innocent-looking squirrels are probably spying on us. Every time they stop and twitch their little ears, they're not just sensing danger. They're intercepting our conversations, gathering intel for their impending takeover, listening to our theories as to who shot Mr. Burns. Geez, that's an old reference. Anyway, consider the squirrels' incredible agility and speed. Isn't it a bit suspicious that they can evade almost any danger, scampering up trees and leaping from branch to branch with the grace of an Olympic gymnast? Perhaps it's because they're equipped with advanced extraterrestrial technology. They might look cute and fluffy, but under that fur could be an alien exoskeleton providing them with super squirrel abilities. So folks, the next time you spot a squirrel in your backyard, don't just dismiss it as another harmless woodland creature. Look a little closer. Watch for the signs. And remember to salute. You wouldn't want to upset our future overlords, would you? Oh, and if the squirrels are listening, tell Chris Williams his boy is looking for him. Spread the word. Now I know what you're thinking. That's nuts. And you're right, it is nuts. But let's take a moment to consider the evidence against this theory. For a start, squirrels have brains about the size of a walnut. Yup, their whole world revolves around nuts. Even their brain size is nut-related. Now, I'm not saying that size is everything. Believe me, I'm not. But it's a little hard to believe that they're masterminding a global conspiracy with that kind of processing power. And don't give me that whole shtick about phones these days having more processing power than NASA in the 60s. There was a lot of development between the Nokia 3210 and what you're probably watching this on. And let's not forget about their lifestyle. You ever seen a squirrel trying to cross a road? It's like watching a game of Frogger, but with less strategy. If they can't even figure out traffic patterns, how are they supposed to be orchestrating world domination? Then there's the issue of their dexterity. Yes, squirrels are agile little creatures, scampering up trees and leaping from branch to branch. But give one a corkscrew, and I'll still be standing there with an unopened bottle of Merlot, wondering where the darn rodent ran off to. And when was the last time you saw one use a screwdriver? I mean, if squirrels were really so super intelligent, wouldn't they have invented some kind of bird feeder-proof container for their nuts by now? Consider also their communication skills. Sure, they chatter away in their squirrel language, but I've yet to hear one deliver a Shakespearean soliloquy, or repeat a Dave Chappelle joke, or even make one coherent sentence for that matter. If they're masterminding a conspiracy, they're doing a spectacular job of hiding their linguistic talents. And finally, there's the question of motivation. Squirrels seem perfectly content with their life of tree hopping and nut gathering. If they were plotting world domination, wouldn't they show some signs of ambition? You'd see at least a squirrel in a business suit or a dashiki, or one trying to build a rocket ship. But nope, not even a skateboard. They seem perfectly happy just being squirrels. So unless squirrels start building nut fortresses, which, okay, would look pretty dope, we're probably safe. But who knows, maybe they're just playing the long game. After all, they do have a knack for burying things and waiting for the right moment to dig them up. So keep an eye on those furry little characters. You never know when they might decide it's time to launch their nutty revolution. But wait, there's a group of people who swear by the squirrel conspiracy. They've even named themselves the Nutcrackers. Now, the Nutcrackers aren't your average conspiracy theorists. They're dedicated, passionate, and utterly convinced that squirrels are up to something. Their arguments are as diverse as they are, well, nutty. First off, they point to the uncanny ability of squirrels to cross roads without getting hit. Now, we've all seen squirrels darting across the street, making drivers swerve and brake like mad. The nutcrackers argue that this isn't just a case of animal instinct, but rather a calculated attempt by squirrels to cause chaos and confusion. And hey, if you remember when a squirrel made you almost crash your car or tried to make you late for work, drop a comment below and join the debate. Now back to our friends, the nutcrackers. They believe squirrels are trained traffic disruptors. Next, they bring up the impressive memory squirrels have for nut stashing locations. Think about it. How do they remember where they've buried hundreds, if not thousands, of nuts? I dropped my kid off at playgroup once, and I had to call the missus to remind me where the place was. The nutcrackers argue that the squirrel's memory is clear evidence of advanced intelligence, possibly even superior to humans. And that story about my kid and playgroup suddenly seems to back that theory up. They suggest that squirrels might be using their nut stashing skills to map our neighborhoods, preparing for, well, they're not quite sure what. They're certain it's something big. They also point out the sheer number of squirrels around us. In parks, gardens, streets, they're everywhere. The nutcrackers see this as proof that squirrels are spying on us, gathering information for their mysterious plans. Of course, one might argue that these folks are just envious of the squirrel's superior skills. Or perhaps they're onto something. After all, haven't you ever caught a squirrel staring at you a bit too intently? Or noticed how they always seem to be watching, waiting, plotting? Well, who knows? Maybe they're onto something. Or maybe they just need a hobby. Alright, it's time to crack these nutty theories wide open. Now, the believers of the Great Squirrel Conspiracy claim that squirrels are secretly in charge of the world. They point to the rodents' uncanny ability to remember where they've stashed their nuts, and their expert skills at crossing roads without getting squished, as evidence of their superior intellect and control. But let's apply a little thing called science here. You see, it's not that squirrels are super intelligent masterminds, it's more that they've evolved to be incredibly good at specific tasks like remembering where they've buried their food. This is due to a part of their brain, the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and spatial navigation. It actually grows as they stash away their food for the winter. See? It's my hippocampus that's to blame. As for the road crossing skills, it's not because they're controlling traffic lights with their tiny squirrel brains. It's more about their fast reflexes and agility. These traits have been honed over millions of years of evolution to help them avoid predators, and apparently, speeding cars. So, before you start attributing the success of Man City or the latest stock market trends to our bushy-tailed friends, remember that their skills are pretty much limited to nut stashing and road darting. But here's a fun thought. Instead of believing that squirrels rule the world, maybe we could learn a thing or two from them. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could remember where we've put our car keys, shopping list, playgroup location, as well as squirrels remember their nut stashes? We could save so much time and frustration, and arguments with the wife. Now, wouldn't that be a conspiracy worth believing in? A world where humans actually remember where they've put things. But alas, we'll just have to keep dreaming. So, the next time you forget where you've kept your car keys, don't blame the squirrels. So what have we learned today, other than the fact that squirrels are not secretly planning our downfall? Embarked on a hilarious adventure through the wild and bizarre world of conspiracy theories, specifically the Great Squirrel Conspiracy. We've found that there are people who genuinely think these adorable little animals are covertly ruling the world. What a hoot. We've scrutinized the proof that supposedly backs this theory, from the strategic positioning of acorns to the suspicious way squirrels flick their tails. We've listened to the believers, the courageous individuals who dare to voice their fears about the squirrel overlords. We've had a hearty laugh, but we've also dismantled their arguments one by one. It's essential to keep a level head, even when we're in jest, because at their core, conspiracy theories like this are just a good time. They allow our imaginations to take flight, to toy with ideas and possibilities that are admittedly absurd. That's fine. It's fine to chuckle at the ludicrousness, to be in awe of the creativity of these theories. It's fine to play along, to speculate and ponder, what if? But when the laughter dies down, it's equally important to distinguish reality from fantasy. Squirrels aren't conspiring against us. They're not covertly running the world. They're just squirrels, doing squirrel things, scampering around, gathering acorns, and being irresistibly cute. So let's celebrate the madness, the outrageousness of these conspiracy theories. Let's relish the entertainment they offer and the creativity they spark. But let's also stay grounded in reality. Let's remember to question, to think critically, and to pursue the truth. Because the truth, as they say, is out there. And when it comes to the Great Squirrel Conspiracy, the truth is delightfully simple and hilarious. All believe what you want. It's folks like you that make dinner parties exciting. So remember folks, the world is teeming with nuts. Some of them just happen to be squirrels. But we can't let our guard down. So here's a way to help ward off the squirrel uprising. Subscribe to our channel. Every new subscription is a blow to their nutty plans. So hit that button and join us in our fight against the uprising of these furry spies.